Welcome back. Part two of the This Week in the Mixer, episode 7, whatever we're on. Not important. The content is what is important, no matter how crap it is. So, left off, wrapped up my thoughts on the Women's World Cup. I guess the only thing left was prediction. U.S. versus the Netherlands. I actually got to watch a bit of the Netherlands game against, who they play? Not Germany, Sweden? Chill out, guy. Sorry, making a U-turn here. I mean, they were okay, they were good. I suppose they're not on the U.S.'s level. This guy's gonna be pissed he missed the light because of me. Sorry, dude. But I was making your turn before you pulled up the intersection, so I'm not that sorry. So yeah, Netherlands, what are they? That game went to extra time, right? And the Netherlands got a goal. I did miss extra time, so I don't know what the circumstances of that goal were. But everything I hear is that neither Sweden nor the Netherlands, the Dutch, are anywhere near as good as France and England, who the U.S. already beat. I mean, from what I saw, they looked to be at least, in the same ballpark as France and Sweden. So, or getting all over the place here, as France and England. So, it could go either way, but they're going to be on a day less rest, having played in extra time. And from what I see, one of the biggest difference from the men's game to the women's game is the conditioning in the, late in the games. So I think it's going to play. I think that the fatigue is going to play a big factor. I think the U.S. comes out, scores early like they have been. They had another one before half. I think they go in early or go into halftime with a 2-0 lead. Most dangerous lead in sports, but not for this one. Not for these women. I think they handle their business. I think the Netherlands press. I think the U.S. wins comfortably. Not as comfortably as they did in the last final, which was an awesome game, but I still think they take down the Netherlands impressively, somewhere 3-0, 4-0, 4-1, somewhere in that range. That's how I see it going. Moving on to the Men's Gold Cup. We had 2 less than stellar semifinal matches, I would say. The Mexico game, they left a lot of goals on the table. They had a lot of opportunities, right on the doorstep. I will say that Jimenez is their only striker that's really threatening. They have this other guy, Pizarro, who plays, I guess he plays, I don't know the numbers. He plays as the forward attacker. Is that the 10? I thought the 10 was the controlling midi. I don't know. Maybe that's the 9. Matt, you're going to have to help me here. But yeah, he plays the central attacker most of the time. Or at least one of the 2 most forward guys. And I don't know, he's always in the right position, so he's pretty good. But if Pulisic had that same positioning, or this guy had Pulisic's talent, he'd have 5 goals this Gold Cup. I've watched I've watched every knockout game for Mexico, And I think I just missed one Mexico game, and that guy, he gets all kinds of chances. and he just can't finish. He's like a touch away or 2 touches away so many times. Anyway, so I'll say that, and of course he'll score like a brace or something in the Gold Cup final. But yeah, Jimenez is the only one who's really threatening. Guardado started the Gold Cup doing really well. He's kind of hasn't really featured in the last 2 games, so I don't know if fatigue is setting in, if these guys are, if the shine is wearing off of playing for the national team as the tournament progresses, or what. But they haven't really been impressive the past few games. Definitely not. They definitely haven't looked as deadly as they did in the first few games. And their quarterfinal game went to PKs against Costa Rica. That was a good game. That could be actually what wore them out. Costa Rica, I think they have a top 30, definitely top 40 FIFA rank. They're the number 3 team historically in the CONCACAF, as far as the CONCACAF teams go. They really challenged Mexico. Mexico, they missed their first PK, or it was blocked. I think it was blocked. It was just really predictable. The first guy for Mexico went up, shot to the left side, and the goalie just guessed right and stopped it. So I mean, they were kind of on the back foot. Luckily, Guardado, a guy missed the goal for Costa Rica. I actually called that. I was watching it with Belly, obviously, and I looked at the guy. I was like, this guy looks like a chump. He does not look confident at all. He just put out that nervous vibe. I told Belly, I was like, he's gonna miss. I was like, watch. I was like, this dude's gonna miss. Sure enough, he fucking missed. And then I also called on their 5th guy, which, if I'm pulling such a Danny right now, all these things that I called, but on their last guy, that on their 5th PK, I said, watch, this guy's gonna shoot it down the middle. And sure enough, he shot it down the middle, but Guardado dove, so it went in. But anyway, Mexico was able to get the win. Guardado making a save, I think, on the 6th or 7th PK by Costa Rica. Once it got to the sudden death. Pretty good game, but that game went extra time plus PKs plus all that emotions. Took its toll, and I think you saw that in the semifinal game where Mexico came out. They looked pretty good. They looked pretty good early on, pretty sharp, but the game ended, or went the full 90 minutes with no score, and then they got a goal. They got a goal in extra time, and ended up holding on to win, but they did not. And there were a few times where who did they play? It wasn't Martinique. Who the fuck was it? Haiti. There was a few times where Haiti, had some chances of their own. A few times with Mexico, just like I was saying, that Pizarro guy just didn't make that one extra touch. It could have easily been. This game could have just as easily went to PKs as it could have been, 3-0 Mexico. So I know the last time I recorded, I said, I see Mexico taking this. They're the better team, but the last two games for Mexico, it definitely changed my opinion. The U.S., it hasn't been the prettiest, but they're getting the job done. I think it's an even game, so I guess if I had to make a prediction, I would probably still say Mexico takes it. The U.S. is 1-4 against Mexico in Gold Cup games, so not good historically. These are different teams, different coaches. Can't really factor in that record too much. They're playing in the U.S., but there's definitely going to be, I think it's Chicago, right? So, maybe the crowd's 50-50. Mexico fans travel well. There's a joke to be made in there, but I'm going to leave it to your imagination. So, I still see Mexico taking it close. Ultimately, I think they just control the ball a little better in the midfield. I think they're just gonna, I don't know, I think they're gonna get breaks. I think it's gonna be frustrating. I think it's gonna be a physical game. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gets a red in it. But we'll see. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it definitely has the potential of being a better game than the Women's World Cup game. Better games than the Padres versus Dodgers. So this is actually kind of the highlight of the weekend. This Gold Cup game as a nightcap on Sunday. So really excited. Don't day drink too hard after the women's team wins. Remember, you gotta be at least. You can't be entirely vision impaired for this Gold Cup game at night. Because if you want to see it, it should be a good one. I'm expecting some fireworks this 4th of July weekend. Yes, I did that. Would love to see Pulisic. It's Pulisic, not Pulisic. Pulisic, and get a domestic trophy. I guess not domestic trophy, but international cup trophy. What would you call this? A nation trophy, a national trophy, whatever. First U.S. trophy would be awesome. Been really impressed with Weston McKennie. I wouldn't say he's been the player of the tournament for the U.S., but he's at least in the conversation with Pulisic. Been really, really happy with the back line. They haven't really been tested too much, but it's been a historic, well, not really historic, but when the U.S. have had their issues, it hasn't really been on the attacking side. It's been defensively letting in 4 goals to minnows or just getting embarrassed by Chile. And they haven't really been a topic of conversation, and I guess that's what you want out of a defense. And we're missing some of the, I guess if they had a World Cup team, what I would consider the World Cup starters. Yedlin's hurt. Jonathan Brooks, I think, is hurt. And is it Fabian Johnson? I think he plays defense. Maybe he's defensive mid. I know they move him around a lot. I know he scores goals for his German squad. I hear the updates every now and then, but yeah, they've been doing pretty good. So I really like the Cannon guy who plays on the right, number 14. I don't really know much about him, but he's been solid. Reem's been good. So yeah, I mean, we don't have tried and true DeMarcus Beasley in there, but these guys are making it happen. So speaking of making it happen, Michael Bradley, Jesus Christ, when did this guy learn how to play? I feel like this guy's playing his best, his best tournament for the U.S. team that he has, and he's 31. I heard of the Mexican broadcast that he's played in four Gold Cups. He's played like something like 36 Gold Cup games. It's it's a hell of a resume for somebody who's been the most frustrating player for me, at least watching the men's national team. It's amazing to see what he can do when he's actually in position. Maybe they're just asking him to do less. I felt like on previous teams they were relying on him too much to possess the ball and move it down the center of the field, and he just wasn't talented enough. Now he's just kind of getting the ball and moving it pretty quick. So again, this is like entry-level analysis since my soccer knowledge is not deep at all, but it's just the way that I see it. Anyway, I think that's enough for soccer, talking soccer. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm excited. I did want to talk Padres Dodgers series. They're what, 3 games below 500. They got 3 games left against the Dodgers before the All-Star break, if I'm not mistaken. Because they play Sunday. They played yesterday. So yeah, they got 3 games, counting today's game. It's something interesting I've noticed lately is, I'm around a lot of Dodger fans. I do have some LA roots. I know. Forgive me. We all can't be perfect, like Danny's lineup calls, but I do have a little bit of LA blood in me. My grandma, she lives up in Lakewood, which is just outside of Long Beach. It's on the border, which I think is actually north Orange County. I could be wrong, but it's fucking LA. There's Raider shit and Dodger shit everywhere. Anywhere like Irvine and north, we can pretty much, to San Diegans, it's LA. But anyway, so, I do have some, I call them friends, people that I used to hang out with. I used to go up there a lot in high school before I got a job. I used to be up there a lot of holidays. So I know people, and then like Belinda's got a lot of family who live in LA. Dodger fans, I got Dodger fans at work, which I'm sure we all do. And I wear Padre shit to work, like all the time. I talk about the Padres as much as anybody does in social settings. And yeah, I mean, they've been embarrassing. They've been irrelevant. And the way I've been treated when talking about the Padres is just a non-factor, like they don't exist. Now, those people are starting to talk shit. Belinda's brother sending me like talking shit about Machado any chance that he gets. When the whole bat throw thing happened, he was talking about that. He's like sending me links about Machado being a piece of shit. It's like, it's funny, man. Like you were talking about this guy when he was stepping on ankles wearing the Dodger jersey. So it's interesting to see where these people's allegiance lies and where their morals are. It's a moving target as far as athletes go when they're wearing your team's colors. But yeah, there's Dave Palais, formerly from what, Dave and Jeff on that 1360 morning show. They have a really good podcast. I suggest listening to it. Spoiler alert, they're the ones that I get most of like my prospect information from, how the guys are doing on in A-ball and that kind of shit. But Dave Palais, he's a high school coach. I think he coaches Eastlake or Bonita, one of those teams, baseball. He knows his shit about baseball, but he's a Dodger fan. First and foremost, he still like kind of roots for the Padres, but primarily he's a Dodger fan. And he's talking all kinds of shit about the Padres now. And then I just have other people there talking shit about the Padres, and it's like, oh, okay. So now I think they're starting to feel threatened, and I think the weight of their team making the last 2 World Series and letting them down, the weight of that high payroll and not getting a title, they know their window is closing, and they see the upstart Padres with all this young talent, plus they got their huge All-Star break signing last year, Machado, on their team. He's the girl that got away in their eyes, and they feel threatened. They see the Padres as the fun, young, up and coming team, while they're just waiting for the postseason every year. They can't enjoy the ride like we can, and I mean that's what I keep trying to impart on the chat. And I feel like everybody kind of gets it for the most part. Danny definitely does enough tilting for all of us. There are like certain games where they get away close, and maybe a better manager decision could have went differently. But for the most part, everybody's just enjoying the young talent on the team. But I just see that these Dodger fans, they're getting nervous, because they know there's some pennant races coming up in the maybe next year, maybe if not next year, the year after. The Padres add some pieces, the Dodgers lose some, and yeah, we could have some really exciting battles, and I think the Dodger fans know it, and I think they're fucking scared, and I couldn't be happier about it. I cannot wait. That being said, they have no chance of making the playoffs this year, but it's gonna be fun. And I mean, I guess they could do something crazy. They could rip off like a 10 or 12 game winning streak. That's what it's gonna take if they're gonna contend. I don't see that happening with Andy Green. So every close loss, every shitty lineup decision, I think is a step in the right direction towards getting him out of there. We see what it did, what a coaching move can do. I mean, look at the Chargers. They were awesome once they got McCoy and Norv and all those guys out of there. This team is being unleashed on a coach that lets his best players do what they do best. So hopefully we see something similar happen with the Padres real soon, because now that I'm coming back, I can finally watch these games. The good thing about the Dodgers series is Sky Sports. I don't know if it's just like here in TJ or what, but they must have some sort of broadcast deal with the Dodgers, because I get all the Dodger games, but like they usually have like 2 MLB games, maybe it's 2 per league, but yeah, it's usually like Cardinals, It's usually like Cardinals games and every Dodger game for some reason down here. So yeah, when I get back to San Diego, I'll be able to get whatever app or steal somebody's password. Just don't tell the internet, even though I'm posting this on the internet. And I'll be able to watch these games, you know, because all my analysis is based on Twitter and secondhand shit. So take it for what it's worth, guys. I'm just being honest here. All right, I think that pretty much wraps up my thoughts. We got the home run derby coming up. Mainly what I'm watching. I was hoping one of the Padres guys would get on there, but you know they didn't. It's unfortunate. Mainly what I'm watching for is to see if Christian Yelich will win it. There's a somewhat popular bet that Big Cat and PFT from Barstool Sports, pardon my take, said that they would eat each other's asses if Christian Yelich won the home run derby. They said that last year when he was on this crazy home run tear, and you know, obviously that's carried over into this season. So yeah, Jesus. I mean, would they actually do it? I would think not, but apparently one of them did eat horse shit because the Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup. So I mean, you never know with those guys, but it's going to be entertaining to see the tweets if Yelich even gets past the first round, which he should. I already put one in the river and broke a window on a boat today, just doing practice hits. So not looking good for Big Cat and PFT there. But yeah, I mean the rest of the All-Star game, who the fuck cares? There's only one Padre and he's a pitcher who's may or may not. Well, I'm sure he'll throw, but you know, looking forward to the All-Star games of the future, where maybe we have more than one guy in the starting lineup. That would be something. Machado and Tatis in there. That'd be nice. All right, so that wraps up baseball talk. Pawds gonna lose the series. They'll be lucky to win one game. That's my prediction. So NFL is back a little bit. It's almost there. Some of my podcasts that go dormant during the beginning of the summer, once the draft's over, they usually take May and June off, and then they kick back up in July. So listening to those at work, getting excited. Gonna try to get my sheet together to make another historic run and another third place finish. Hope you guys are ready. Really excited to see the draft trends, the young guys, the breakouts, the sleepers, the guys to avoid. Spoiler alert, I think there's going to be some surprises on my team this year, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to diving into it. Maybe I'll do an MFL 10 with Jeff here soon to get some practice, and before we know it, we'll be all three of us will be sitting at Matt's house drafting via like 5 Skype screens on all his iPads. I cannot fucking wait. It's like Christmas, like a creepy Wi-Fi Christmas. On a more serious note, dealing with a little bit of personal sad news. I don't like looking for sympathy or anything like that. And that's not what this is at all. But my little nephew, he's not doing too well. I don't know how else to put it. He's I guess you could say he's battling for his life right now. He's at a children's hospital in the ICU. I mean, he's got I don't even know what the proper term is. He's infected with the E. coli from the fair. Believe it or not, he went to the petting zoo. He's I mean, I'm pretty sure I've told you guys before. They think he's autistic. He's still not talking. He's like 3 years old. But yeah, it's not totally out of the ordinary. But he's being seen for that. So I wouldn't say special needs necessarily or anything like that. But I mean, I guess it's irrelevant. But one of the things he really enjoys, really responds to, is animals. And so my sister was excited to take him to the fair so he can see all the farm animals, and they went to the petting zoo, and yeah, I guess unfortunately he came down with whatever the E. coli that one other boy died from, and some other people got sick from. So anyway, that's what's going on. He's it's changing almost by the hour. I'm not a religious person at all. I'm not even necessarily a good vibes person. I mean, I'm not knocking anybody who is. That's fine. I don't really know what I believe. I think it's an open question that I consider a lot, and I think of. I've been to church and all that. I don't know if there's anything controlling this. But if you do have good vibes to send, or prayers to send, do not send them my way. Send him his way. He's a strong dude. They did say he was well, I don't want to get into too much detail, but yeah, it's it's a thing, and yeah, we're thinking about him. So if you could do the same, I would appreciate it. But yeah, that's it. I hate to end on a sad note. Part of me doing the video is keeping you distracted from it a little bit. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. Let's get it for that little guy. I guess sports they're a distraction. They're fun. They don't really matter. That's why I just try to make jokes and have fun with it. What makes me excited is sharing, watching sports with with Belinda, with my family, with you guys. It's a good distraction from the shitty grind of work, and I was hoping to be able to watch stuff with him, and hopefully we still will. Staying positive. He really likes basketball, so yeah. The first 30 minutes of this was just nothing more than meandering bullshit that we do to distract ourselves, but yeah, just hold your family tight, all that good stuff, and think of the little guy out there, and yeah, I appreciate it, guys. But yeah, let's get it for this little dude, and catch you guys next time. See ya.